Hey, good morning. Happy Tuesday. Happy September 27th. Can you believe it is the last full week of September, which is my favorite time of year. Fall and autumn are, as you can probably see from the photo behind me, the artwork. I love the fall. Just going to quickly make sure that I'm going to hear from my team to make sure I'm live in both Facebook and on YouTube. So let me just double check here and check in with them. They're going to send me a message, but I think we're good. And someone can also comment. I don't have to wait for my team. If you're on YouTube, do you see me? If I'm in Facebook, do you see me? Just let me know. Good morning. I want to welcome you. Hello, Sherry. I know it's Sherry, even though it says Facebook user, because I think Sherry's from Toledo. We'd love it if you'd give StreamYard. If you're on Facebook, it's good to give StreamYard your permission to use your name so we can see who's making the comments, but I'm pretty sure that's Sherry. Yes. And I think we're good on YouTube as well. So I'm just going to take off here. Welcome this morning to our Finding Joy Every Day. This is just another gathering for our Align 3030 challenge. Hey, good morning, Mickey. So happy to see you here. Fantastic. I see a few people from Facebook, a couple people on YouTube, but I want to just dive in and get started because I know everybody has a busy day. Again, this is just a weekly check-in call for our Align 3030 challenge, Align Your Mind. We're getting so many amazing comments. Women are, it's just going even so much better than I thought it would initially. I mean, women are really getting great results from the journal prompts every morning. And I'm so delighted that, we decided to do it. And I think I shared with you that this wasn't something I planned. I've never done a challenge personally myself before this one. I've never participated in a challenge before in all my years. And this was sort of a divine message, a divine download that was sent to me when I was out on a hike that you need to do a 30-30 challenge. And wow, I'm so glad that I did because so many women have benefited. Good morning, Jen Cox. Seeing you here coming in from LA. I'm actually coming at you from Park City, Utah. This is, I always point the wrong way. This piece of artwork behind me, that's an aspen tree. It's my absolute favorite tree, besides a noble fir, which I always get at the holidays. But anyway, I want to talk with you this morning about consistency. And, I want to thank my Align community for this because yesterday, every Monday at 7 a.m. PT, unless I'm on vacation or unless it's a holiday, we gather together as a community to do stillness and journaling every single Monday. And it's just been such a extreme benefit and delight. I love doing it. And it's helped so many women kick off their week and set their intentions properly. And good morning, Kathy. Thanks for welcoming everyone. Yes, consistency is much needed in my life. Sherry, it's needed in everybody's life. Okay, it's not just your life. And what came up, and it actually came up from our member, Mickey Marafino, who's with us this morning, that consistency was something that she's looking for more of in her life, especially as we move into this last quarter of 2022. And then, that really kicked it off. And then everybody in the community started to say, you know what, that's what I need, consistency. And what I want to say about consistency, and here's the beauty of it, consistency trumps skill, it trumps talent, it trumps education and intelligence. So if you work and flex your consistency muscle in all the areas of your life and business, you're going to really win big. And because anyone can practice consistency, right? That's what I love about it. It evens the playing field, right? And so let's talk about consistency because that means that you've scheduled something that you're going to do over and over and over again with consistency. And then you're going to measure. I'm going to take you through some steps, but love this. Thanks, Jen. The Monday morning kickoffs are great. And the women who attend are amazing. I just can't say enough about it. I just love it. And good morning, Patricia. Hello. So happy to see you here. So let me just dive into this consistency and say that you are already doing it. So consider yourselves fortunate. You're already practicing consistency right now. You're building and flexing that muscle because you're doing the 30-30 challenge. That's why I didn't do the challenge for a week. I didn't do it for 14 days. Why? Because I know from personal experience, when I'm flexing my consistency muscle, I know that I have to do something for a minimum of 22 days, but really more than 30 to build a new habit, right? And consistency is a habit. And sometimes it can be challenging to build a new habit, right? When we're stuck in a rut, or we're stuck in our old ways, or we're stuck in the way of doing things. But this is how really truly successful people, and when I say successful people, I'm not talking about just monetarily. I'm talking about successful people in life. They have a good business. They have great relationships with their friends and family. They practice taking care of their health. They understand the importance of consistency. And again, you're already doing that within this 30-30 challenge. Good morning, Dr. Salasi. So happy to see you here. So let's talk about this for a minute, because I want you to stop and think about your business and your life, your relationships, your health. Stop and think for a moment. Where do I have consistency, right? Where am I practicing consistency? And am I winning by doing that? Where can I see the wins from that? And where do I need more consistency in my life? And again, this came up, again, yesterday morning in our Align community, 7 a.m. Monday morning. We do it every Monday. And someone asked the question, Joy, how do I become more consistent? Because I seem to be falling down. I set the goal, but I seem to not follow through like I really want to. And so I want to break this down for you this morning so that you can start being more consistent and have more wins to celebrate on New Year's Eve on December 31st of this year. Because ladies, that's what it's all about. It's about at the end of the year, it's about celebrating every day, of course. That's why I call what I do Finding Joy Every Day. But at the end of the year, you want to be able to raise your glass to something that had meaning. And maybe it's getting this 30-30 challenge started. We have one more week together, and I'm hoping that you'll just continue on and on and on, after next week. But we still have one more week and some great prompts coming your way, and I'm excited about that. But when we're inconsistent, so let's look at the opposite of that first. When we're inconsistent, we get inconsistent results, right? If we do something on Monday, and it's easy on Sunday to plan. So I'm going to give you some as a funny example. On Sunday night after dinner, it's real easy to say, I'm going to try intermittent fasting this week. Why? Because it's Sunday night. You've just had probably breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Your tummy's full, and you're thinking, yeah, I can do that. But if you haven't planned and you aren't consistent with your plan, right? Probably by Tuesday at lunch, you're going to be like, whoa, I am hungry, right? Because you didn't really put a plan into action. We can always do things when we're setting a goal and we're dreaming this big dream and we're excited about it. But then comes the part where we have to implement, we have to manifest, we have to take action. And so that's what I want to talk with you about this morning. So let's talk about how we can become more consistent in the things that matter most to us in our life and why it doesn't happen and how we can move through it. All right. So the first thing, and I talked about this yesterday with a client because she said, Joy, I'm just really struggling with consistency with my goals. And I could see that I'm not going to meet that goal by the deadline I set for myself. So we really stopped and we broke it down. Okay. And I'm going to also, here's another tip. I'm going to also invite you that when something's not working in your life or in your business, this is when we have to break it down. We have to peel it back. Imagine an apple and you get that knife and you keep peeling it back. When you go around once, you still don't get to the core of what the issue is, right? You don't get to the root. So you've got to keep peeling it back and finding out why. And that's what I'm going to do with you this morning. So let's talk about a goal maybe that you've set that you're not reaching, or it's not getting the results that you were hoping for thus far. You have to stop and ask yourself about the goal you set exactly. What is the goal? Is it a goal that you set because it's deep within you? You want to achieve that goal? This is something that really matters to you? Or is it something that you felt you should do? A goal that someone else said that you should do, a team member, a family member, a best friend, a business partner, but you didn't feel all in, all right? Stop and ask yourself, be honest with yourself. Be honest with yourself this morning. Is the goal I'm trying to achieve really important to me, or does it seem like it's important to everyone else? Okay, very important. So stop and ask yourself, wow, thank you so much. We just had, and if you want to give StreamYard your permission on Facebook, we can see your name. So Joy's advice yesterday helped me to create an empowered, impactful goal. And that's what I'm going to take you all through right now, okay, is this process. So ask yourself, what is the real goal? What is it I'm trying to accomplish? What is it I really want to happen? Let's say that the goal is, I'm just throwing this out, I want to make more money in my business. Chances are nothing's going to happen. Why? Because it's not specific. Here's the other reason. You need to know why you want to make more money in your business. First, it's a two-prong. Why do you want to make more money in your business? And secondly, how much and by when? You got it? Why do you want to make more money in your business? How much and by when? See, we have to set goals that are specific. And this can be hard sometimes, right? It can be hard to set a goal that's specific, because then that fear comes in. That fear comes in and says, well, I don't know. I mean, do you really think you can do that? Right? You've got to, this is where faith is so important. And that's something that will get stronger and stronger as you do your 30-day challenge, as you do your morning prompt, as you have your stillness in your journaling. Fear starts to take a back seat and faith starts to move out in front. That's another big thing, because you start to believe more in yourself. You start to have more confidence. You start to see things more clearly. So all this works together. Everything you're doing this month, it all works together. Love this. More money with less labor involved to get better. Yay. There you go. I love that. More money with less labor. So then, Patricia, I'm going to even challenge you to identify it more. More money. How much more? And by when? And when you say less labor, how much less labor? Talk about, how many days a week? What days of the week? See, we have to get really grainy with if we really have a goal that we want to accomplish, we got to get really grainy with it. Okay. I love this. Here's Jen Cox, working smarter, not harder. This challenge is helping me work through my fear of growing. Yes. Jen, when we're getting ready to grow, fear always comes in, because remember, we're here, and when we're getting ready to grow, we still have to continue to go like this, right? To break out of the cocoon that we're currently in. It's like a little cocoon, and we continue to grow to break out of it. And it's hard because it starts to get tight in there and uncomfortable, and we know we're ready to grow, but yet, and so we have to keep doing this. And this morning practice is so important to growing. And I love this. So Patricia says better quality of life, right? Better quality of life. So Patricia, I want you to also write down, what would better quality of life look like? Does it mean that you would have more time on the weekends? Does it mean you'd stop work by a certain time in the evening? Does it mean you do something specific with your friends and family? The more grainy that we can get with these goals, the more likely we are to achieve it. And I'm going to tell you why in just a moment. Because when we get really grainy, here's the next thing I'm going to invite you to do. Vision boards are great, and I have created them for years. And by the way, most things that I create on my vision boards manifest. But you know what? That means typically people think, oh, I got to run to Michael's or the craft store, and I got to get the paper and the glue. No, we're going to not. You can create a vision board today. I'm going to tell you how in about 15 minutes. Go into your phone, just go into your phone and create a photo album. and put in that photo album images or pictures of what your goal looks like. So for you, Patricia, what does a better quality of life look like? Put that photo in that album, and the only thing that goes in this album are the images and the photos of your vision board. Maybe you want to cultivate a better relationship with your team, or a better relationship with, your significant other, or with your children. Put photos in there that represent better quality relationship. Maybe it's around your health, finding more joy in your health, right? Which you are doing for our emotional and mental well-being. That you're doing that already in this 30-30 challenge. So you're halfway there. So I want you to be specific, and I want you to go into your phone, and I want you to create that photo album, and I want you to look at it every morning after you're journaling in stillness. Just go to that album and look at it. Okay. I am in my home, my new home in Park City, Utah. I have wanted a mountain retreat home for 14 years. And part of everything I'm telling you is exactly what I did. Everything. I'm in the area I want to be. It's so close to what I wanted, but this is what I did. I got very grainy, very specific, and I created my photo album. So create your photo album. Love this. And then I want you to go and look at it. Let's see, Sherry, since working with Joy, advice has helped me to accomplish some goals I've tried to do for 2 years. Okay, Sherry's saying, I have been able to accomplish goals that I've wanted for 2 years and 4 months, but let me tell you why. The reason why is because every time Sherry and I worked together, she always went back and she worked on the goals we set. She set very specific goals, and when we would come back together for our sessions, she would have completed the goals or gotten very close. That's how it happens. Thank you, Sherry. You can double down, and you can cut your time frame in half if you just really practice what I'm telling you. And what I love about this is it doesn't take that much time. Okay? So create that vision board. Really get grainy about the goal that you want. Not what your significant other wants, not what your children want, not what your team wants. What's the goal that you want? What's the goal for you, right? I really want you to think about this and get clear. What's the goal I want to accomplish? And because a lot of times we set goals because, well, it sounds good and we can pat ourselves in the back and we tell people that, but it's not intrinsically what's calling you deeper in your soul. And if we don't set goals that call deeper to us in our soul, and create these vision boards that we can look at to help us start to take action, it's hard to make it happen. It's challenging to accomplish goals that are set by someone else, right? And I know everybody here is an entrepreneur. Okay. Oh, that's great. So Sherry's sharing one of her goals that were reached. She just submitted her first short story for audio recording because she wants to do voiceovers, and she's really on her way. Okay. So let me get back to this. So what do we do after? So write the first step. First step, get grainy on my goal, get real specific, and create my vision board in my phone, in my mobile phone. Okay, that's it. What's the second thing we have to do? We have to take action. We have to look at what are the daily tasks that I need to do to accomplish the goal. So for Patricia, she says, you know what? I want to have a better quality of life. Okay. Start looking at what are the obstacles that might be holding you back from your definition of a better quality of life, and either start removing those obstacles or create new habits. We have to look at what is it that's holding me back from this ideal life that's in the photos, that's in the pictures, that's in the images that I have on my phone. What is it? And get honest with yourself, right? Get honest with yourself. It isn't anything you have to share with anyone except, right here, with us, or, privately with yourself. This is your life that you want to align and find the joy. And by the way, living an aligned life means living in your truth. Living an aligned life, your aligned life, means you are living in your truth and you're identifying with what matters most to you, not what matters most to your neighbor, to your best friend, because that's their life, right? And this is where we have to get through. And this is a whole nother training, which I don't have time to do today, but that goes along with this judgment and criticism. We're so worried about what everybody thinks about us. I want to tell you, ladies, after all these years, I want to tell you that really the only thing that people really care about are themselves. They don't really, I was about to say they don't really care about you. What I, sometimes that's true, but I'm being a little honest here this morning. People really care about, it's WIIFM. Okay, WIIFM. You know what that stands for? What's in it for me? What's in it for me? People care about, how does this affect me? Right? Okay. So it's about how it affects me. And by the way, sometimes that's why your family, in a very loving way, they love you, your family, your best friend, they don't unknowingly, they can try to hold you back. You know why? Because again, they're thinking, oh, what's in it for me? If mom, really goes for this goal, or if my wife or significant other goes for this goal, that means that she might not be as available to me sometimes. So we start to, that fear comes into the other person, and they start to say, I don't know about that goal. That doesn't sound so good to me. So beware of that, because they mean well, but they're looking for themselves. Here we go. Here's Jen. I keep pushing myself and setting goals and achieving them. So great to have someone like Joy that has done it. Oh, thank you, Jen. I really appreciate that. And you do. Jen she keeps pushing herself. She keeps working towards her own next level of greatness. And by the way, when you really get grainy on these goals, and when you really commit to them, and you write down those daily action steps that you have to take, that is when you start to move into your next level of greatness. That is when you move out of this cocoon, this space you're in now, and you move to a whole nother level of greatness. And yes, you have another level of greatness inside of you. I have another level of greatness inside of me. It just keeps growing and growing and growing. You and I have recognized so minimally of who we can be. You can be so much more than you are right now, and you're great right now, but I promise you there's another level of you just waiting. But this is how it happens. Okay? So I want to talk about number 3. We talked about the goal setting. We talked about getting real with the goal. We talked about creating a visual, a visualization, sort of like your own picture in a photo album. So you like your vision board. We talked about setting the daily tasks. This is where you have to sit down and say, okay, what do I have to do? What is it I have to do to, start to achieve this goal that I'm working towards? The third thing you have to do is you have to take action. You have to take action. And this is where you got to really get honest, and you got to pull out your calendar, and you've got to say, okay, when am I going to take this daily action? Because here's what I know about every single person here with me this morning. You're already busy. Everybody here's got a calendar full of things they have to do. Nobody here is not, because you're here. I know you want to grow. You're in this challenge. So you got to pull out the calendar, and you've got to start asking yourself, where can I make time for this daily task that I want to do, because I want to achieve this goal that's really important to me? Where's the time? Because it takes time. It takes consistent effort. All right. And that's how we manifest. I want to sort of put something out there to you this morning that I see a lot, and I want to dispel something. We don't just vision and manifest. It just doesn't happen. I'm sorry. People will tell you that, but you don't. And it takes daily action, and it takes work, and it takes goal setting, and it takes all these things that I'm sharing with you right now. Manifestation of your goals and dreams come from taking daily action. Okay? Manifestation of your goals and dreams come from taking action, right action. It doesn't come from sitting and thinking about it. Trust me on this. I've been doing this for over 30 years. Trust me when I tell you, it will not happen if you think about it. We have to think about it, and then we have to move into action. So I want you to pull out your calendars today, and I want you to look at it and say, okay, where can I add time to my calendar? And you may have to let go or release something else in order to have that time in your calendar to do something. I will tell you, when my kids were, I started this business, my kids are going to be this month 20 and 22 years old. Can you believe that? And I started this business when they were babies, when they were infants. And you know what I had to do? Sounds rough, but I used to wake up at 4:45. I'd pack everything up the night before, my computer, my books, my notebooks, everything I needed. And I used to get up at 4:45, and I used to have all my clothes laid out. I'd jump into my clothes, I'd grab my bag and my briefcase or my bag, and I would be at Pete's, which was about 7 minutes from my house at the time, Pete's Coffee. And when it opened at 5, when they unlocked the door, I was in the door, and I would work from 5 a.m. to 6:30. And then I would rush back home, and my husband would deal with the first initial wake up of the kids if they were up. But of course they were up at that age. They got up at 5:30. And then I would take over. But see, that's a sacrifice I had to make. I used to work, on sometimes on the weekends, and I still will get up and do something on a Saturday. You know why? Because I'm committed to my goals. I'm committed to my next best self. I'm committed to an aligned life, and I'm committed to finding joy every day. I mean, I feel this to my core, to my soul. I am 100% committed to it. And so you have to make the time. Now, I'm not saying everybody here should be getting up at 4:45. Please, it's not prescriptive, but you've got to find the time. So maybe you watch less television. Maybe you, do get up 30 minutes earlier. Whatever it is, I want you to sit down and really get honest with yourself, because I want you to achieve whatever it is that matters to you, because you matter and the world needs you and everybody needs you. And the only way to do that is to lock in to what your impact truly is for you. Okay. So again, set the right goal, create your vision board, write down a list of what are the tasks, go to the calendar. What days and times am I going to do? Let's say, as an example, you said, you know what I've really been wanting to do is write a book. I'm just using this as an example. I want to write a book. Okay. If you really want to write a book, I just had this conversation with a client last week. If you want to write a book, then you've got to go to your calendar and you've got to block time to write. You've either got to block 2 days a week in the beginning for 60 to 90 minutes, or you've got to get up and block 30 minutes every morning. You have to create that habit. You have to work that muscle. Okay. And so it's not, if you say, I want to write a book, but you never don't do the daily task or write it down on a calendar, it's not going to happen. Right? Okay. Why do you think that? And the last step is, you've got to review your progress, right? You have to measure. We measure what matters. So you set the time in the schedule, right, in your calendar, and you do it for 30 days. And then you look back and you measure it. Did you do it or did you ignore it? And when you did it, what happened? We have to measure our progress. Why do you think that the fitness apps are so popular, measuring people's steps? Because people are dying to know how many steps they take a day. Believe me, I'm right there with them. I count mine every day. It's just, I'm looking for the win, man. And so, but that's why they're so popular. So you have to measure your progress. Okay, you got to measure, how many steps did I take this month towards my goal of writing the book, of getting the voiceover, of getting more business, of having that better quality of life. What did I accomplish, right? So you measure what matters, and then you go back and you review. Okay. All right. Fantastic. So thank you so much for joining me today. I hope this was helpful. I do want to mention real quick, I will be back here next Tuesday again at 8 a.m., but we'll send you reminders, because that'll be, we'll be coming up to the end of our challenge together. And what I talked about this morning, these are the kind of things that I talk about every week on Monday mornings in our Align Journaling and Stillness, and also on Wednesdays in our Align Private Membership Community. If you're interested in potentially joining our private membership community, whoa, you talk about an amazing group of women there to support you towards manifesting your goals. Wow. It's an amazing group, and I am honored to serve them every week. If you're interested in learning more, contact Kathy. She's here this morning to contact Kathy. Kathy, could you put your email and phone in the chat? She'd be happy to answer any questions you have. We'd love to have you as a member. And I love this, Patricia. If my goal is to have a better quality for life, I'm dedicating the first hour of the day to exercise. Yes. And to journal. And I'm starting a new fitness routine on Monday. I love it. So sorry, that's my dog. That is fantastic. Write it down right now. Of course, I know it's in Facebook, but take a picture of it and maybe make it your screensaver, and then go Create an album. Create an album that, makes you happier, gets you excited about exercising. Okay. And, or, whatever makes you feel fit, do that. This is such a great goal. And I'm so glad that you publicly shared it with us so we can check in with you. But that's great. Kathy has shared her information. Again, we'd love to have you. If you want more information, Kathy can share it with you. We meet the first 3 Wednesdays a month. We also meet every Monday for journaling. It's just a program that's chock full of everything that I think women need right now for weekly support. And many of the women that you see here are in the group, and you can see how supportive they are. And we have many more besides this. So if you're interested, please check it out. Thank you so much for joining me today. You'll continue to get your journal prompts this week, and I'll be back here next Tuesday again to talk with you. And remember to stay aligned and find the joy. All right. Have a great day. Bye.